So I'm going to start to make sausage rolls. I've already got the pastry in the fridge chilling. So I'm going to start with my 4 sausages. Now you can buy sausage meat as it is, but I find this a bit cheaper. I've just got some basic sausages. I'm just going to remove them from the skins. Now obviously I'm touching raw meat here, so it's really important that I wash my hands afterwards to prevent cross-contamination and the risk of illness. So 4 sausages should be sufficient. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to go and wash my hands. So I'm now going to add the rest of my ingredients to the sausage mixture. Just going to mix them all up. Now these are just plain sausages, not cumbered on Lincolnshire, just without any other flavouring, because I want to add my own. So to this, I'm going to add, I've already finely diced 1 onion. Make sure it is finely diced. To that, I'm going to add a bit of parsley. Oh, it's a new tub. Again, this is an opportunity where you can add whatever flavours you want to it. I've got 1 slice of bread which I have left to sort of out in the open just to sort of get a bit stale, and I've made it into fine breadcrumbs. So I've got 1 slice of bread which is about 40-50 grams, okay? Obviously this is going to keep it and bind it together. To that I'm also going to add a little bit of nutmeg. I quite like the flavour of nutmeg, and a little bit of allspice. Now if you wanted to add chilli or garlic, you can play around with a little bit of flavours. So I'm just going to combine this together. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's all ready. Now you can just spoon this onto the pastry, but I'm going to use a piping bag because I think it'll be a bit neater. So I haven't cut the bottom off just yet. So I'm just, in fact I might use my hands just for this section. So I'm just going to push it into the piping bag. I'm always thinking about presentation now, how you can improve and keep things neat and tidy. Okay, now I've got meat on this hand, so I'm now going to go and wash it. So I've had a bit of a tidy up. I've removed the pastry from the fridge. It's been chilling for a while now. So I mean, I left mine in for a few hours, but actually half an hour is sufficient. Okay, so I'm going to dust the surface lightly. Get some more flour in there. I'm going to cut this in half, so I'm going to work with half at a time. I'm going to put the other half back in the fridge until I'm ready for it. Because of the heat today, we don't want the butter melting just yet. Some more flour. My pot. So you can see in here, it's called lamination. You can see all the layers that are trapped inside here. So obviously what's going to happen is, as the air that is trapped between each of the layers heats up in the oven, they're going to expand. They want to escape. And as the layers want to expand, they're going to force the puff pastry up. So lamination, so really nice layers there. Okay, so I want to roll it as a rectangle, so I'm thinking about the sausage roll shape. So I'm going to keep it that way. Don't want to make it too wide. Think about the thickness as well of your sausage rolls. Okay, I'm just going to knead it off to make a nice rectangle. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to snip the end off. I've got my scissors. Now I'm going to pipe the sausage meat down the centre. So I'm thinking the sausage, these 4 sausages, so the pastry I made, you'd need 8 sausages. I'm going to make something different with the other pastry. I'll show you. Make a sausage lettuce in another video. I can make a... Whoop. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm now going to brush one of the lengths with egg. Okay. What I'm now going to do, I'm now going to roll the other side, so not the egg wash side, the other side over the top. To overlap onto the sticky part. There we go. Now, so at this point, you can decide what size sausage rolls that you would like. Whether you want longer sausage rolls or you want cocktail ones. Just going to secure the end here. So I'm thinking that I'd like some, so I've got a sharp knife here. I want to create the same size sausage rolls so they cook evenly. The little one on the end. I'm going to line baking sheet of paper. Place them onto here. Okay, I'm going to egg wash them to glaze. And then, using a sharp knife, I'm just going to score the surface on a diagonal a couple of times. Don't cut all the way through. And then because I've made small sausage rolls, they probably take about 15 minutes. If I made the bigger ones, you'd probably take about 20 minutes. And there we go. 15 minutes. Start. So just as I've done before, the sausage rolls are baking in here. I've had another 4 sausages in here with the 1 slice of bread made into breadcrumbs and an onion. This time I'm going to add a different type of flavour. I've got some tomato and chilli pesto, or you could add, if you want to make like a chilli one, you could add fresh chillies or some chilli flakes. But this is what I had in the fridge and we quite like it. And rather than making sausage rolls, I'm going to make a sausage plat. So I'm going to do something a bit different with the pastry. So just as before, okay, mash that all together. I'm now going to add the onion. Obviously I'm not going to add parsley this time because I've got the different flavourings. Breadcrumbs. And now the pesto. Now obviously you don't want to add too much because it's quite a wet ingredient. So I'm going to add a teaspoon. And go from there really. If I want to add more I can. I want it to be a subtle flavour rather than a really too strong, but if you like it spicy you can obviously add a little bit more. A little bit more because my husband likes sausage rolls and he likes his spice, so thinking of the person I'm making for as well. There we go. Okay, I'm going to bit of a tidy up before getting my pastry out of the fridge. So pastry out of fridge, same as before. Now this time I want to make it a little bit wider because I want to make a lattice. Okay. Again, try and keeping it as a rectangle. I can see the lamination in between as I'm rolling it out, so I can trap in the air. Now you can see I'm rolling it out a little bit thinner this time. Here we go. So that's fine. I'm going to get a baking tray out and put it straight on there first of all because you'll see why in a minute. So I've placed it onto a baking tray, onto a piece of greaseproof paper. In fact, I'm going to take it off the baking tray now, which is here. Let me just straighten off the edges as I did before, just to neaten it off. Don't want too much wastage. And I'm going to keep that as a diagonal because you'll see why in a minute. Right, so into the piping bag again. And this time I can pipe it a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to take off a little bit more. Get better scissors. Right, so I'm going to sticky down there. Okay, so what I'm now going to do, to make the sort of lattice, I'm now going to cut at an angle down the sides. And then the other side, I want to try and do opposite the lines that I've now cut. So it's going to be symmetrical. Again, the angle's going in the same direction. So it looks like an arrow. There we go. So, just going to put a little bit of egg just down the base here and at the bottom. And now comes the fun bit of creating lattice. So I'm now going to work this way so that as if the arrow is coming towards me. So I'm going to start at the top, just going to bend the top bit over. And I'm going to go right and left. Right and left. Ooh, that's that done. Right, then left. Now if there's gaps in between, obviously there's going to be leakage from there, but I'm not too bothered about that. And the bottom, I never know how to do the bottom, so I'm just going to fold it in, like tacking it in back on itself. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that altogether. And slide that onto the baking tray. And then give it an egg wash. Now because this is bigger, it's obviously going to need a lot longer, so I would say probably 25 to 30 minutes. Ooh. There we go. So I put that in the oven, you get the other one out. There's those ones. Those go in for 25 to 30 minutes.